So hello friends, my name is Rahul Chaudhary and today we are going to see uh, a small project using FastAPI where we have implemented the feature of multi-tenant. So you might be thinking that what is multi-tenant? Okay, wait, let me first open my code base. So this is my root folder. So before expanding my root folder, uh, we were uh, we were in what is multi-tenant. So you must be thinking what is a multi-tenant, what this feature is. So in very easy terms, if I explain you, then multi-tenant means there is one application which will be used by multiple clients. Here clients we are referring to the tenants, but each tenant data stays completely separate from each other. Okay, if I give one real world example, so let us take one building that have suppose 10 floors, and we have 10 tenants like tenant 1, tenant 2 till tenant 10. So each of the tenant have one floor occupied in the building. So each of the tenant are sharing the same building, but each company or each tenant have their own office, their own data, their own rooms, and their own employees, which are completely separate from each of the tenant. Like no other tenant are interfering to the uh, uh, anyone's company or any floor. So this is the real world example, and you must be thinking that what is the need of multi-tenant in real world projects. So basically, if we implement the feature of multi-tenant, it will be very convenient for the developer to create so to create and implement for one application for multiple clients. Like if I have if I have created one services, but by that one service I can provide to multiple clients. Like one service I have created, but I am providing it to multiple clients, so it will be more easier, more manageable, and like there is only one application, one server, one code base, but multiple clients, or we can say consumers or tenants, are using it, and each tenant has their own isolated space to keep their data. Okay, some if I give you some real world projects in multi-tenant, then the very first will be Gmail. Like Gmail is only one application, but it has millions of users, and each user have its separate data, separate emails, separate inbox. Whatever their data is completely separate from each other. So I hope I am able to explain you what the multi-tenant is. So let's jump into our folder. So this is my root folder, which is FastAPI underscore my caches. So basically, first I would like to say that FastAPI does not follow or does not have any fixed file structure. So we can arrange the files according to our convenience. So, but usually in production level codes, we follow two types of file structure pattern. One is horizontal structure and another is vertical structure. So when we are going for horizontal structure, we only follow the horizontal structure when we are going for a small project, like only one or two features are present in that project. uh, but when we are going for a large or mid-level projects that have multiple features, then we will go for a vertical structure. So here in this project we have followed a vertical file structure, so that in the later on in the future we will implement multiple more features, and we can grow the project. That's why we have followed vertical, and my recommendation will be we can follow horizontal as well if we are working on a very small project. Otherwise vertical structure is very much organized, and is there can be we can implement multiple features in future. There it is very organized. So let's expand our root folder, so we can see what the vertical structure is, what we have implemented, what technologies or what tech stack we have used here. So as I see, there are multiple folders and few files as well. So let's start from the very beginning, which is Alembic. So let me first tell you that what are the tech stacks we have used. One of it is Alembic, for sure. So if you have used Django, you must be migrated your models to convert it into a data table in the database. So when we are using FastAPI, it does not comes with any built-in migrations or any ORM like we get in Django. Like there is built-in Django ORM, Django migrations, but FastAPI does not comes with any built-in tools like that. So, so the very best combination that goes with the FastAPI is SQLAlchemy and Alembic. SQLAlchemy, we integrate with FastAPI to use the ORM feature, which is object relational mapping, and then Alembic is integrated with FastAPI so that we can migrate, and it deals with all the migration stuffs. Okay, so this particular folder Alembic deals with all the migration, and migration folders are stored migration files are stored in this particular folder. Then comes to app. This is the core app, the core folder of my project, where all my codes, all my setting configurations are present. Then coming to this folder, this is task folder. This is basically I have used because I have also implemented the celery here, CELERY, celery, not the SALARY, celery. So I have celery implemented celery here. So basically you might be thinking that what celery is. So we use celery when we want to perform a task in the background. So for an example, if a user comes to your application and they are uploading some files, and it might taking a few more minutes or taking a longer than the expected. So it is not recommended that the page got stuck and it will only got reload, or the user can only do something something extra only when the file got uploaded. That looks bad, and that is a bad practice as well. So to make the user interface more convenient, more flexible, we will perform the task in the background, like the background the file is getting uploaded, but the user is able to perform whatever task or whatever they want, they can, and the file is uploaded in the background. So to perform any of the task in the background, irrespective of what application we are using, it is completely separate, and it is performing its own task. For that background task we use celery. So these are some helping function that I have included here, that is used by the celery. And here is my celery underscore app.py file, where my celery configuration and celery task is provided, and all the helper function that my this particular file is uh, using is present in my task folder. Then there is my env folder, and all the credentials of my all the credentials that I have used in this particular project is present in my .env folder, .env file. Now let's expand the app folder. So as we can see, there are multiple folders and multiple files as well. So let's starting from the main, as we know that the application only starts with the main file. So here I have imported uh, some packages from few of the modules, like this is a very important uh, to show that we are using FastAPI. So we are importing FastAPI package from the FastAPI module. Then coming to the next part, I am creating an object for my FastAPI application, or we can say class. Then we are including all the routers that are present in our Django project. So let's see which router are we are linking here. So what do you think? Is it directly go to the endpoint? Like if you have studied Django earlier, so you can relate that all the endpoints are written in the URLs, and all the business logics are written in the views.py. So what you think, this file will lead to the directly to our endpoint, or it will lead to somewhere else? Let's see. So that particular main.py file is linked with some other file which is named as API underscore router. So here we are linking our routes file. So as we can see in these two lines, I have one users folder that is present inside the app folder, and this routes file is present inside this users, and we are importing this routes file and giving it a aliasing means allocating a temporary name to a particular file as user underscore routes. And here we are creating an object as router for my API router class, and then we are linking router, and we are including the routes that are present inside my users folder, and same with the tenants folder. Now let's visit this particular files. So here are my all the routes are present. As you can see, create SU, then access key, user register, and this prefix means like whenever I will typing the URL, like this is my endpoint, but before uh, only just typing this will not work. Before I have to type this. So after typing this particular portion, I will be able to type this, then my particular business logic will execute. Okay, so let's see. We have completed the main, then we have also completed the API router. So like main is linked with API router. API router is linked with my users and the file inside the route file that is inside the user folder. So from there, it is executing the business logic. This was the flow. First, we will start with the main. Main is linked with API underscore router. API underscore router is linked with the routes file that is present inside my users folder. This. Okay. Then coming to, so we have completed main, we have completed API underscore router, and coming to logging. So first of all, you might be thinking, what is logging? So logging is very important for printing important information from our application in a professional and controlled way. So coming to this particular portion, uh, we are importing logging. This is a Python's built-in logging module, and then we are importing SYS package, which is used to output logs to the terminal. So basically we use SYS because it is very helpful during the debugging, because whatever issue we are facing, that comes in our trackback, and from there we can debug where the actual issue is occurring. So logging is used for that purpose. Then we have config.py file. Basically, if you have used Django earlier, there is one separate settings.py file that holds all the setting and many extra code as well. So as fast API is very faster and lighter, it does not have any extra code. Instead, we have to create one class, one setting class that is inheriting from base settings, and all the settings and configuration you want, you can add here. So like all these details I have provided, and these are some confidential details that my setting class is fetching from the .env file from here. And then I have created some variable for easy access, like instead of settings dot database underscore url, we can use database underscore url, and same for others as well. So this is my config.py file. Then coming to init.py file, underscore underscore init underscore underscore is nothing but it just makes the folder as a package. Okay, now as we can see, there are few folders as well. So starting with the db folder, so here is one models.py file. So this is basically a model I have created. Like these are the column names. Then these are uh, some rules that particular column has to follow. Like this column is a primary key, index true. Then user ID will be of integer type. It is a foreign key of this particular column. Okay, it is like that. So I have created, you might be thinking like why models.py is created here. So like this is a temporary, like I would recommend that whatever model you are implementing, it should be created into their particular folder. Like in this case, in user here I have created one models.py file, because and this model holds all my models that are related to user feature. So we can also implement this. We It was recommended that if this folder was present in this particular file, then it will be much more easier. But because of some reason, I have implemented it in my db folder. So that is a separate thing, we will discuss it later on. Now coming to this particular file, database.py. So this is a very important file. So again, some headers, like I am imported some packages, and this particular line is very important. Like here I'm creating a base, a object with name base for my declarative base class. So this particular class is the base class, is called as base class, and all my models that are present in the entire application inherit from this base class. And why this particular uh, base class is needed? Because the SQLAlchemy that we use is for ORM. So the SQLAlchemy uses it to track models, all the models in the entire application, how much models we have implemented or we have in the application. And it creates means the SQLAlchemy creates the table from that model that we have written in the application or in the code base. Okay, then I'm storing, means I have created one variable where I am storing the database URL that is present inside my settings class. Then I have created one variable engine, and this is a built-in method which which is responsible to connecting the SQLAlchemy to our default database. Then there is session maker. It is also a built-in method, and we use it to get a new DB sessions. Then here is one utility function that provides database sessions to us. It is basically it yields the generator, means it is a generator, means it will yields the value one by one. So FastAPI uses this function as a dependency, and here we are calling the built-in method that we have defined here. and it will yield the value one by one. And after the request finishes, it might be success or error. The session will be closed. Okay. So, and then there is there my entire project is based on tenants and user only. So we have two folders with our feature, and there is one more folder with utils. Holds all my helping functions, like there is one email sender file, like which is related to sending the email, like I have implemented when a user is forgotten his password, his or her password. So they can apply for forget password, and they will get a email in their registered email, and from there they can reset their password. Then there is s3 uploader file, which uh, which will be uh, which is responsible for any file upload that is done by the user will get inside a s3 bucket, which is present inside aws. Then there is one token generator, which will generate one unique id when the user logs in. Okay, so this particular utils folder is responsible for handling all the helping functions. Then there is users and tenants. So this consists of multiple files, like utils that holds all the helping function. Then there is schemas is something new in FastAPI. Like uh, schemas are basically FastAPI use pydantic schemas. So what is pydantic schemas? It is used for data validation. Like in schemas.py file, we define what type of data we are expecting as an input, and what type of data we will be providing as an output. Like like for example, here in this particular class, create super user in. So I am expecting one first name, one last name, one email, one username, one password, one field with confirm password, one field with mobile number. So this particular fields I am expecting as a input, and this particular fields I will be providing as a output: first name, last name, email, username, mobile number, and status, like user is created or user is not created, whatever. Then there is route that holds all my endpoints and the business logic. Then there is model, whatever model we will be creating in our database. Then there is CRUD. CRUD is basically whatever operations which is dealing with the database, like creating or updating or deleting, is written within this folder. Then there is auth file, which is responsible for checking the authenticity of the user. Okay, so this was user folder. Then comes to tenant. It is also very similar. There is one CRUD file, one deps. Deps is something which is similar to utils. It also holds some dependency functions. Then models, then route, then schema, then util. This is also holds some helping functions. So we have completed the files: db, tenant, user, utils. Some no, these are the folders. These are some files that we have gone through: API router config, logging config, and main and task. I think I have explained all the files present here. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you.